Hello, I'm Emily from Capital Tuition Group, and in this video I'm going to talk you through some of the frequently asked questions we get about tuition classes and to help you get your child prepared for their first session of the new academic year. So first things first, where do I get the lesson link? How do I join? So the lesson link will be sent to you in a reminder email before every lesson. It will come to you the morning of the lesson and will be sent just before, around about 10 minutes before as well. Now the lesson link comes to you via the email address you use to book up the session. So it's highly likely that will be your email or your partner's email, someone in the family's email, and you'll need to forward that on to your child. So once you've done so, what your child will have to do is click on that link to securely join Lesson Space, which is our interactive teaching programme. They'll enter their full name. They'll then be taken to a waiting room. The tutor will admit them, greet them and register them for the lesson. If you're having any issues finding that link, just double check your junk email inbox. If you still can't find it, don't hesitate to reach out to us and we can resend it over to you. Occasionally, very occasionally, our emails will end up in junk. If that happens, just make sure you mark us as a safe sender on your account and then things will always come to your regular email inbox. So what about if your child's facing any technical issues joining? So we find that our platform Lesson Space is a wonderful platform because it doesn't require you to download anything. It's a secure web-based platform. However, if technical issues do arise, please refer back to the reminder email that you're sent each week. In that email, you'll have a URL that takes you to the Lesson Space troubleshooting page that should answer most of the questions, if not all of the questions you might have in regards to troubleshooting. If the issue you have persists, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at CTG Central. You will find our number on the reminder email. If you can't find it there for whatever reason, have a look at our website and you'll find it, and we're always here to help. We highly recommend using a laptop or desktop for the tuition wherever possible. That tends to just ensure for optimal experience, and the preferred browser being Google Chrome for Lesson Space. However, a tablet works absolutely fine. Whilst Lesson Space can work on the phone, it's not recommended because you will lose some of the functionality of the sessions. And if you are using a tablet or a phone, please ensure you're on Safari because that tends to be the most optimal browser on those devices. Thank you. So what about if your child's facing any technical issues joining? So we find that our platform Lesson Space is a wonderful platform because it doesn't require you to download anything. It's a secure web-based platform. However, if technical issues do arise, please refer back to the reminder email that you're sent each week. In that email, you'll have a URL that takes you to the Lesson Space troubleshooting page that should answer most of the questions, if not all of the questions you might have in regards to troubleshooting. So the third questions we get asked often is, how do I go about contacting my tutor? So the 1 hour each week that you've booked up is your child's specific time with their tutor in their small group to ask any questions they may have. And the tutor's role is to make the environment as conducive and supportive as possible to their questions. So we really encourage your child to vocalise their questions, to ask their tutor. It often is so often the case that actually if one student has a question, so many of the others are thinking the same. So it really helps out the group a lot for somebody to ask those questions. And the tutor will definitely make sure, especially towards the end of each session, to dedicate time for questions and answers. What our tutors also really like to do is regularly towards the end of sessions, they'll ask the group, is there anything that you would like to ensure that we think about within our plans for the next few weeks based on things you've covered at school or things you're finding challenging recently? So do encourage your child at that point to have a really good reflect on how we can continue to shape the course to best reflect them by speaking up and chatting to their tutor. We totally understand that there may well be occasions where your child might want to ask a question directly to the tutor. And again, we encourage them to do that in the lesson time. That's when the tutor will be there to respond. But what they can do is send a private message. So via our system Lesson Space, their tutor will show them in one of the first sessions how, via the chat box, there is a way they can just specifically chat with the tutor and raise a question. Lastly, what about cameras and mics? Yes, we do. We highly encourage cameras and mics, please, at all times. This enables that relationship between tutor and tutees to be built really strongly. And we found last year that actually our students that really got the most out of the sessions and really made the most progress were the ones that were actively engaging in sessions from the get-go and throughout as much as possible. If there is an extenuating reason why your child can't be on camera and mic, please don't hesitate to let us know. We understand that and we can communicate that appropriately to the tutor. Otherwise, they will be asking the students to turn their cameras and mics on at the start of every session. If your child's having any issue getting their camera or mic to work, typically it's because they haven't enabled the pop-ups. So when they log on to Lesson Space, if it's their first time on the platform on that browser, they will get a little pop-up come up towards the right-hand side of the URL that will ask them to enable camera and enable mic on lessonspace.com. Once they've done that, unless there's been an update to their device, they shouldn't need to do it again, but that typically is what we find is the most common reason why there might be camera or mic challenges. Hope that answers some of those key FAQs. Any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We are here to help, and we very much look forward to working with your child soon on their first tuition class session of the new academic year. Thank you.